Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. Hey, Auntie, how we doing this Thanksgiving?
We good.
Stuffed and blessed.
Awesome.
Stuffed and blessed.
I hope everybody had a good time.
Hi, welcome to Hey Auntie. We're gonna start by introducing ourselves with our name, our age, and our beverage of choice. I will start. My name is Naya. I am 31, and this is tequila and simply lime for this wonderful Saturday afternoon. Hey, Auntie Precious.
Oh, wait, there we go. Hey, Precious, I'm 33 and I am drinking coffee.
Okay.
Oh, good
Irish
choice.
coffee, maybe?
Yeah, regular coffee.
Okay.
Regular coffee.
Okay, who you want to pass it off to?
I'm going to pass it off to Auntie Michelle.
Hey, Auntie. My name is Michelle. I'm 30 years old, and my drink of choice today is some wine that my boss gave me. She brought me a bottle of wine every day. And I'm gonna pass it off to Auntie Alana, even though I can't see you.
All right, y'all, hear me out. I ain't got no eyebrows.
What we can't do is hear you out. We can't see it.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to
Put
hear
them
me
on,
out.
girl. Put them on.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
listen, y'all, it's been rough.
We can put on some earrings and some gloss.
Listen, you got that. I know. I will still hurt. Anywho, my name is Alana. I am 30. I'm old. Oh my gosh. And my
No, you're
my
not.
my drink of choice is anything. Pick Moscato, give me Hetty, give me wine. If it's brown, it goes down. I don't care. I'm
Oh, no.
simple.
Period. Period.
Okay. And Alana, you have to pass it off to one of the other aunties.
Okay, hey Auntie Sheree.
Hey, Auntie, this is Sheree, and I am 58, and my beverage is water as usual. One day I'm going to surprise you. I'm
like
going to
you.
have wine, okay?
Close your eyes. Tell yourself it's wine.
Hysterical.
Exactly.
I guess it leaves me, and I'm Auntie Elisa, and I am drinking water as well because I've had enough pineapple lemon drops for the last couple of days. So I need to hydrate. Okay. So today's topic, aunties, is
So extra.
boundaries.
So
Don't
extra.
you think? I am very
I
extra.
like it.
Boundaries. OMG. Boundaries in the family, in your relationships, at work, your relationships, whether it be friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and at work. So this is a good one.
This is
Boundaries. So who would like to start us off?
I'll start. Can I start?
Sure, go for it.
Start it off.
The reason why I want to start is because if you know me, you know. If you don't know me, you don't know, but you're gonna find out right now. So I feel like I have been going through this, like, I don't want to say a karmic cycle or just like a lesson learning cycle. And I feel like I've recently come to the idea or understanding of like, maybe my lesson is the boundaries, because I think there's too many things that have taken place constantly, kind of like same spirits. So I'm going through the same cycles until I'm learning a lesson. And I never thought the lesson would be boundaries. I feel like I thought I had boundaries. And then I was like, more recently, I'm like, wait, maybe I don't have boundaries. Like, clearly I don't have boundaries. Otherwise, I wouldn't be having these same cycles. So boundaries for me is really big. I think that initially I thought like just in family boundaries, that would be something that I had to work through, but I'd never thought about like romantic relationships or friendships or even like at work. I feel like at work, be professional, do your job, period, point blank. It's very cut and dry at work. I think family and platonic friendships, those are things like I was learning, but it was kind of like an easy learn. For some reason, romantic relationships was not easy. And I felt like what am I missing here? What is the lesson that I keep missing here? And recently, a good friend of mine was talking to her, and she was like, maybe it's the boundaries. Like, it sounds like boundaries. And I was like, wow, smack me in the head and call me a dummy. I mean, could have had a V8, you know? So definitely, it's an interesting course that I'm on here. It's a very interesting rope course. I feel like it's good to have, but I think especially growing up as a Black girl and now a Black woman in America, we're taught, of course, a lot of things in regards to like, don't be the angry Black woman and don't be aggressive. And so we try to steer away from those things so bad that we forget about the boundaries part. And then we don't have boundaries, and then we're disrespected, and then we're staying longer in relationships or friendships or whatever have you longer than we should be because we haven't made those boundaries. So it's like, also it's coming to a point too where I've realized with learning that I need boundaries, I kind of realized too, like, it's not the other person, it's you don't have boundaries. So therefore you can't, yes, you were a great friend to such and such. Yes, you were a great girlfriend. Yes, you gave them the world. Yes, all these things, you check all the boxes, but you don't have any boundaries, which is why things go haywire. And maybe they don't have boundaries themselves, and or they don't respect boundaries. So therefore, if you don't have boundaries, it's like a Wreck-It Ralph coming to your playpen and wrecking everything. So I had to really, I'm still learning. I have not arrived, nowhere near the arrival or the destination. However, it is very hard. It's very, 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 very hard, especially because like I'm an emotional being. Not to bring zodiacs in, but I'm a Cancer. And we're very hearts on our sleeves, but wearing my heart on my sleeve is what is like my version of not having boundaries. And that's what's got me hurt so many times. It got me like in the crossfire, and it's like, oh no, you got to protect yourself, which is crazy. We got to do that, but we have to do it. So
it's not such a bad thing that you have to protect yourself, because most people are out for themselves.
Yeah, but that's not how we should be. And that's because that's not how we should be. I had to also understand, like, everybody doesn't have your heart. So like everyone, you can't expect you and someone else because they're not you. You may get lucky and find someone who is in any aspect that's just as considerate and just as emotional, just as hard on your sleeve, that you don't have to protect yourself, let alone as much. But you have to do it because not everybody has your heart, period.
Very, very true. Being married, I have to have a boundary with my husband. Hold up, just because you want to do XYZ don't mean I want to do XYZ. Or if I'm not feeling this, and my answer is no, and vice versa for that matter. You know, so don't want to be manipulative and be like, well, please, baby, do this. Because then that's not right. You know, if I'm trying to manipulate somebody to do something, or vice versa, right? But yeah, even in a marriage, you still gotta have some type of boundary and respect. That's what that is. It's boundary equals respect, even with friends. And I'm now, you know, did I say my age before? I'm 57. Don't know if I said it, but being 57 and having long-time friendships, or thinking I had long-time friendships, and I really didn't or don't, because they show themselves. Okay, you don't want to talk to me? Cool. You don't want to tell me what's wrong or why seems to be friction? You don't want to? Guess what? Boundary, boom. Because I'm not going to keep putting my heart out there, because I, a water sign also, my heart is on my sleeve. I love you to pieces, and I'll do anything for you, and I'll da-da-da-da. But when it comes down to you blocking me off and no explanation, okay, my boundary, my wall has got to go up now to protect myself. I'm sorry, I jumped in. Anybody else want to?
What's your sign? What's your sign, Elisa?
She's a Pisces.
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, I knew it. I was gonna say that. I knew.
No. I need everyone to understand. A house full of water signs. You imagine,
Lord,
it was flooded all the time
for y'all.
like this.
That's how my house is. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio.
Dang.
Oh, girl.
Dang.
Leo, Aries.
Nadia, let me tell you something. I never even thought about it that way. A house full of water signs.
A house full of water, for sure.
Because that's the way. But we all gelled. But anyway, go ahead. Who's next?
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about it?
Well, I wanted to say, because I just like recently, I mean, I don't know, you hear like about boundaries, it's one of those things that you hear growing up, blah, blah, blah. And I went to therapy for a long time, but I only recently saw it put in the way that like boundaries are not really for other people, like they're for you.
Yeah.
Like you create those boundaries, and whether or not someone respects them, you have to follow through and be like, this is my boundary.
Yeah, you gotta
You
hold your line.
know, like, so like you put them up, but people still might not, respect it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's all about how like you can only control how you react in a certain situation and stuff like that. So,
Mitch, you know what I've learned?
because
Oh,
what?
sorry, go ahead.
No,
So I
I was
learned
just gonna say it's hard. Sorry.
no. I love you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's hard. It's hard to. I always thought of boundaries as like, you set boundaries, and two people, you work together to respect those boundaries. Blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not. It's not like that.
No, boundaries are definitely like a self-work thing for sure. It's all you, on you, for you, by you. It's FUBU.
Mhm.
It's very much so like, it's a to you thing, but I learned recently like the idea that okay, so there's a difference between offense and disrespect. And the offense, we get offended, especially if it's someone new that's in your space, friends, whatever, someone new in your space. They may offend you without the intent of offending you because they don't know you. They don't know what your boundaries are. But once you tell them what your boundaries are and they violate that boundary, then now you're disrespecting me. And now we're gonna
I like that.
That's when I tend to cut people off for no explanation. That's why when you said that, people just stop talking. But if you disrespecting me more than enough, then I was gonna cut you off. There's no point in me keep explaining myself or keep trying to teach you how to respect me. Either as your woman, as your friend, as your daughter, anybody,
as your coworker.
anybody. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna teach you how to respect me. You gotta respect me because that's what you should do. Because I'm respecting you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like they were saying, Precious, like, sorry, Mom, like they were saying, Precious, I've seen this meme online too, like leave people where they weird at. You start acting weird, you leave you right there.
Right.
I never said that one.
I haven't seen it, but it's true. Like, I'm not about to sit there and keep on kissing butt and trying to prove myself or do. No, I'm not doing that.
You have to have your own dignity.
There's another one that says something, a meme that says, teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to, and I'm learning this so way after the fact. I would allow people, whether male or female, come out their face and say something to me. And I just like, oh, I would take it, and then on top of go, oh, she said, this, am I really that? And then I'm getting all in my head.
I can guessing
about it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. No. And I have to think she's not on here, and I wish she was today. Big Sheila, she was a big person to teach me that some years back. It's a dear friend of mine back in New York, and she was like, oh, no, you don't take that, don't receive that, whatever, however she taught me. And she would remind me. So every once in a while things may happen and I hear her in the back of my head go, no, Lee, no. And I'm like, you right, Sheila, you right, and I have to text go, I had a Sheila moment. I just had a Sheila moment. Miss Alana,
I think the hardest time to stand your ground with your boundaries is when it comes to your spouse, your significant other, because it's like because you got to follow through.
Yeah,
such a great.
You got to follow through with it. That's the only way to keep their respect. But then when it's your spouse, when you forgive one thing, then they continue the behavior. So then when you try to correct the behavior, then it's a problem because it's all like, oh, I've been doing this. And you like, but I never liked it in the first place. So now you got to really go back through that whole thing again. And it's a whole 360. It's just,
right. I mean, if you make a mistake one time, okay, make a mistake 2 times, and I told you, but if you continue to keep doing it, you're doing it on purpose. So
at this point,
and you're fully aware of what you're doing.
Right.
Choice. In school with my kids, I tell them like the first time may be a mistake, I can redirect you. The second time you're making a choice. This is a choice you're making. And what you're another thing I see, shout out to Instagram, been holding it down lately. Another thing, it was like anything you're not changing, you're choosing. So like you're making the choice.
Ooh, yeah.
Making the choice to
Anything you're not changing, you're
Thing.
choosing. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I felt that. Don't gotta be so loud.
Right.
Instagram.
Yep. Sure.
Uh, well, right now, my biggest like I feel like I've always had pretty decent boundaries when it comes to everybody but my family.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
right now I'm dealing with like I say the residuals of putting boundaries because these people they're so used to you being one way or so used to you being a certain type of way that when you start putting it, they start making you feel like a really bad person for even having the boundary to begin with. And you're like, well, I'm doing this to protect myself or to grow, and they're so stuck of you being one way that it's almost like they just encourage you or they kind of bring you back. So you start kind of even they even sometimes make me second guess like, am I doing the most? Like, am I doing too much? And I feel like I don't know. Growing up in the house I grew up, it was very tough to even have a boundary because everything was like, but that's your family. So if they disrespect you, you gotta love them because
Mhm.
that's your family. And if they
Mhm.
abuse you, it's okay because that's your family. And if they
Mm-hmm.
rob you or do something wrong to you, you gotta accept it
Yep.
because well that's your family.
Yep.
And
Right.
Yeah.
now
Mm-hmm.
that I'm at the age that I'm like, well, I don't gotta see this family. I don't gotta be around this family. They're starting to turn on me and be like, oh well, you're just immature or you can't handle it.
Yeah,
And
it's funny.
yeah, they like turn up on you and they make you feel terrible. And it's like, well, maybe and I'm in the point now where it's like, you know what, maybe I can't. Like, I don't know, maybe I can't handle it. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Or maybe the boundary is too big and you gotta take like baby steps. But then I started thinking to myself, like, the more boundaries I set, the more I don't want to say better my life has got, but the more quality my life has became. I
Well, yeah.
can't say
Mhm.
I can't say
Mhm.
better because life be life in. I don't know about
Mhm.
y'all, but life definitely be life in. God
Of course.
has me
Right.
on the front
Right.
line for all the stuff, but you know, I like to think that when I'm putting boundaries in place, is to give myself more quality, more sanity, a
Mm.
chance at actually trying to keep to a routine or to try to find some level of consistency or try to love better.
I like that.
I've recently, well, not I don't want to say recent. Me and my fiance have been together for a little while now, but I like kept him off the gram. I kept him away from my family. I kept him away from the people that mattered to me because I was so afraid of not having enough boundaries to kind of protect. Like, where do you step as a fiance? Where do you step as a sister? Where do you step as a friend? Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's very hard, especially trying to have a healthy relationship. You start
Yeah.
realizing how like toxic you are, how lack of boundaries you have. So,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, trying to mend that definitely right now. I always say the hardest part is not the boundary, it's the residual that for me that
Mm-hmm.
comes with setting that
Mm.
boundary. It's so easy to
Mm-hmm.
be like, okay, I'm not gonna let people speak to me that way. But when they speak to you that way and you walk away and now they're trying to terminate the friendship or terminate the family, like it hurts. It still takes a toll on you because you're like, damn, I wasn't trying to do all that. Now I'm just trying to tell you, like, be nice to me. Like, he wasn't
Mhm.
he wasn't expecting
They
that
make you
outcome.
feel like you disrespected them for setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, and it's
Meanwhile, they
so
crisscrossing
hard.
all on your boundary, crisscrossing
Yeah.
on
Right.
you. Don't
Oh
care.
man. And I don't know about y'all, but like I was not the best kid. I was really young. I grew up outside. So, I had a lot of anger. So now that I'm trying to put boundaries to not to stay away and for years now, people that I love so much, I can't talk to anymore because they still think I'm that angry person. Like, oh, Lana's gonna punch
Mm.
somebody in the face. And I'm like, no, I drink tea now, guys. I'm calm.
Wow. I wonder.
Not I drink tea.
She says,
I'm
I
a,
drink tea now.
I can
I'm,
see now.
yeah, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying this whole
Oh my
thing. So it's
gosh.
so tough. Even right now, I heard Naya say like friends. Like, I've lost so many friends, and right now I'm trying to get new friends that have quality that can kind of help me be the new, not new, but the improved, upgrade version that I'm trying to become. I've
Mhm.
lost so much from trying to again set these little boundaries that I thought were no big deal, but apparently
Mhm.
they are. So that's my
Yeah.
I
little.
know I went through that with losing old friends and I kept on trying to do things to bring them back. But then I realized that the
Mhm.
new friends that I have are actually they respect me more. I've learned more from my new friends. It's not like a pullback. Like, sometimes when you're going through stuff and you have that old friend or you trying to get through something, they always bring up, well, remember when you was doing this? Like, they bring up bad stuff a lot.
Oh,
And
You
it
Mhm.
want
puts you back in
yeah.
if more deeper in a depression place. So
Right.
I learned to just let those friends go because y'all not helping me and to keep trying to pull y'all back to prove to y'all that I'm your friend still or I'm still the same person, but I'm not the same person.
Right.
So I'm trying to prove something to y'all that don't even matter because I'm not that person anymore. I've created I'm a whole new woman.
Yep.
So I feel like the new friends that I got now are way better than my old friends. Like I've learned my lessons, and I feel like it was just it's a teaching. You know, I learned the lessons there, learned whatever I needed to take from that, and moved it over here. But obviously, that season is over. Y'all not for me no more, or I'm not for y'all.
I like that.
So
That season is over. It's it's done. We just to keep it moving. I think one of the boundaries. I don't know. Y'all might not say it's a boundary, but I think it was. I'm sorry, Sheree. I'll come back to you. That when my kids were younger, and I would take them to my mother and my grandmother's house to see their, their grands and whatnot. And I remember leaving them there one weekend and having to pick them up. I might have shared this story before, but went to go pick them up afterwards. And when I brought them home, their clothes and their sleepover bag all smelled like smoke because they were smokers, like heavy
Oh yeah,
smoke.
I remember.
And I'm like, oh my God, they're trying to kill my kids, not on purpose, because I grew up, of course, living with them. So that secondhand smoke I was used to, but I didn't want to expose that to Naya and Nigel. So I had to make that hard decision. Again, I'm an only child. I'm the baby girl, having these kids, and they were very protective of me growing up. But now I had to go, listen, I can't do this. I don't know how I said it, but they was mad at me for a minute. Now, this is my mom and my grandmother, my only close family. So they were mad at me for a minute. And then they realized, okay, when the kids come over, they'll smoke outside. They'll smoke out on the terrace. Or when they came to my house, they smoked outside. But I was like, I had to pull that sleepover experience at grandma's house. I had to pull Naya and Nigel from it because grandma's trying to kill y'all. She's already bad. She's trying to kill me, but now she's trying to kill y'all.
Oh my God.
The lump bear came out. But that was a boundary. That was a boundary I had to start to set with my mom. And I think that's when she realized, oh, snap. Baby Lisa or little Lisa is a grown woman who can make her own choices and so forth and so on and so on. Sheree, you were going to say something?
No, I was agreeing with you when you were, I forgot what I was agreeing with.
Is that 58-year-old mind?
What's in the water? What's in the water?
Is terrible.
Okay, drink some water. I'll come back. Who said that?
What's in the water?
Oh, what's in the water?
Maybe I actually need a drink. Okay.
Now, I'm trying to think of a work boundary. One of the examples I can give for a work boundary is, no, I can't do X, Y, and Z. Oh, yes, you can. You could do this for me, like a coworker to coworker. Even if it's a boss, for that matter, that wants you to do something that's out of alignment to your job, out of alignment of something. I always think of, as an executive assistant, a boss wants me to lie for him. My boss wanted me to lie for him. And I'm like, first off, I don't lie for me. So I'm not about to lie for you.
Right.
I'd have to rephrase it, instead of saying, oh, he's not in his office. Oh, he's not available right now. Okay. He is in his office, but he's not available to talk to you right now. Kind of thing. But those boundaries of, no, I'm not going to do or go or say something. You're not going to make me do something that I don't want to do. I'll make y'all laugh. Everybody here, I think, knows. If not, you're about to find out. I am deathly afraid of birds. Deathly afraid.
Oh, that's where it comes from.
She almost killed me. Deathly afraid.
Oh.
Birds. I just don't like pigeons. They're not birds. They're flying rats sent by the FDA, the CIA, the FBI. I don't trust them nasty, dirty things. When I was a baby, they used to run. Now they want to step in Tim. So
no, I'm definitely. But I was dating someone, and this is pre-kid. So I was dating someone who was like, no, you're gonna get over that fear. You're gonna get over it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get over it. Well, lo and behold, homie took me to the birdhouse at the zoo, and I fell for it.
Aggressive.
Let
me tell you something.
I would have broke up with him right there.
Oh, it was a wrap.
Stay together.
It was a wrap. It was definitely a wrap.
Oh, face your fears.
My 5'4" big behind self ran through that bird. I was like, never before. Just like,
You went through. I would have busted a U-turn. You can have fun.
Oh my
Right,
God. Because you know,
right.
I'll
part
meet
of
you
me,
at the butterfly house.
oh gosh, part of me wants to get over that fear back then. I still do. I mean, but it's just not happening. So pray for a sister. But anyway,
Anywhere in New York, sure, but New York, these pigeons, you go, you front to them, they front back. You say what's up, they say
Right,
hey.
oh, they
right,
wild up in
right,
here. They
These
wilding
these
up in here in
right.
these
Vegas too.
pigeons are just as they pay rent like us. They just as entitled.
They own the city. We just live in it. That's it.
Mhm.
That
But
and
see,
the rats. That's
but you
it.
know
Them
what,
two.
Alana,
Yeah, I
like you
heard the
said,
rats out there was huge.
Yeah,
oh God,
yes, they
they're
are.
like dogs.
They
My
can't.
friend
Uh-huh.
went to
I
visit. She
call them
said she
cat
felt like it was
rats.
chasing her.
I call them
Mhm.
cat rats. Okay,
Mhm.
cats and rats fight out
Mm.
here. Okay,
Yep.
it's a ghetto world.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Alana, you said it right though. I should have turned around and got out, but the boundary was crossed and I didn't do anything about it. So that's why, and I end up running through it as opposed to turn around and go, oh heck no, nah, we're done. I ran through it after, you know, after now looking back going, I should have just said, no, I can't, I'm afraid. It's not happening. You know what I mean? I should have held my
I'm not
ground
ready.
then. I'm not ready for this. And I probably will never be ready for it because I've tried. Even back in May with Sheree, I tried. It just does not work.
Aw.
But that's a boundary for, you know, even things like that.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of something or if you don't like something, somebody can't make you do it. You got to make sure you
Mhm.
stick to that
But
boundary.
somebody also said it, you know, and if you have boundaries and people are not going to respect it, you don't want to deal with that person anymore.
They're
Like you leave
disrespecting.
them alone
Mhm. Mhm.
because that's the
Right.
respect. I expect you to respect the fact that this is what I'm afraid of and don't question me about it. I don't need you to change me. This is what it is,
Right.
Right.
you know?
Well,
It's like
now.
for me,
Yeah,
No,
right.
keep going. Keep going.
for me at my job that I just left because I switched jobs in the middle of the school year, and the principal that I had, I try to support her 100%, but it was like I want you to be at my beck and call all the time. No, I
Oof.
have a husband. I
Mhm.
travel a lot, and no, sometimes I want to take a day off before the day our break starts. Don't throw it in my face that I took the time off,
Mm,
and so she couldn't handle it. And I told her, I don't need you to micromanage me. I can do my job. Let me do my job. She
Right.
couldn't handle it.
Mm.
And I
mhm,
knew things were going downhill. When I left, I switched over to another position and she wouldn't even speak to me. Like she wouldn't
mhm,
talk to me. She wouldn't say anything. She just sent the
Mm.
message and said, yep, well, you can go ahead and move your things over to the new place. Okay,
mhm.
haven't spoken to her since. So you know what she got. Block, delete. Because when she's through with you, you get blocked, delete.
Her pride was hurt.
Period.
Her pride was
But
hurt when you stepped up for yourself.
That's right.
exactly. And I guess other
Yeah.
people didn't because they're used to it. But I'm like, no, I don't need you. And I even told her, I said, listen, you call me in here. I said, I have a lot of work. You know, you got a lot of work on me because you know I will do whatever you give me to do. But you're giving me work that you could have did yourself. I said, you could have pulled that picture up. You
Mm,
could have screenshot it. You could have did whatever you needed to do. And it was after that I realized right after that conversation, she kind of stopped talking to me. She didn't call me on the radio, and she had made a comment: "If I don't call you on the radio, if I don't ask you to do anything, I'm done with you. You're gonna be begging me to call you and to have you do work for me."
what?
And I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm a Gemini. Do you know two people live inside of my head? I really don't care. You are not hurting me." I
Not
held my head up
begging,
high
not begging
as
me to
I
call
walked,
you.
begging. Yes, she said begging. I
Mm-mm.
said, do you really think I really
Mm-mm.
want to do this extra work? I'm in a new
Right.
position, new team. It is wonderful. I do my job. They respect me. It is really nice. Like
Yes,
I feel good that I stepped up and said, yeah, I don't have to do this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore.
that's
I
right.
love that. That's great. But clearly she got to do her own work. And I'm not just talking
Exactly.
about work. Girl,
Word.
look
Right.
at go
Right.
take a moment.
Right. Right.
Mm. What's
So
But
another
that happens
area?
though.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Precious.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that happens in the work field when you say yes all the time. Then of course somebody gonna take advantage of you. Oh,
Hmm.
she'll do it. She'll do it. She gonna say yes no matter
yep.
what. She'll do it.
Yep.
No,
So
Yep.
I'm not your
actually, my
yes
aunt just
Mm.
man.
went through that. I
Wow.
pumped her up. She called and said, "Yeah, you're right." She called her boss and put her foot down. She called back and said, "I did it." I said, "Oops, I hope she don't get fired." I'm just like, I didn't think you was gonna do it.
Yeah.
I didn't say do
Right.
it.
Okay. I was just saying it. Yeah.
Well, hopefully
I gave
everything
us
works
such.
out with that. I mean, hey, at my job this year, they introduced something called we call it COCOs. I can't remember what the first co stands for, but the second co is conversations. I want to say compassion conversations, or I don't know. But COCOs were implemented, or they're trying to be implemented in school this year among staff, because boundaries need to be set. And some people, like, you can be setting a boundary at work and someone may take that as offense. Again, if I don't know you and we don't have that relationship, it may be an offense to you, but this is also my boundary. So we have to find a happy medium where I'm not crisscrossing my boundaries, you're not skipping all over my boundaries, and you also don't feel offended. I'm also not doing the same in return to you. So I think it's been interesting. I don't think I've had to have a quote unquote COCO with anybody. However, I share my office with one other person, my girl. Hopefully she'll get on Hey Auntie soon. But we share the office and we have a good feng shui going and stuff. But being in the space that we have, some adults and staff feel like they can just walk into our office. Mind you, I think a lot of them also think we don't do much, but we do a whole lot. We just do it so effortlessly. Because, you know, we them girls, okay? But all to say, I think that they just sometimes people just walk into our office, or we'll shut down our office so we can actually get work done, because the kids are always in our office and it's supposed to be their space, fine. But we'll shut down our office, and then sometimes I'll hear a student like, oh, can you open this for me? And a staff will come and open it. Mind you, we have a sign on the door that says do not enter, or like in a meeting, things like that. The door is locked. There's all the signs are pointing to find out what they need.
Don't come in.
But find out what they need. Urgent. Is it something you can handle? Because sometimes it's like, oh, they just want candy. They should be in third period. What? I don't understand why you're opening the door for candy. Why they mess you in this hallway that way? So we've had to like learn our boundaries with that, and it's been okay. I'd like to, when setting boundaries and like maybe addressing someone for the first time because they don't know, whatever have you, I feel like I like to kind of play it over in my head first a few times and see like what other ways can I say this? What like are the words, the autonomy of the words that I'm using? Are they going to be offensive? Are they a bias? Are they, you know, just checking myself first? Like, okay, this is what I think I want to say. Let me change it around a little bit. And then I'll then apply it to someone who I don't have this issue with. So like I'll think of a friend, I'll think of Mish, I'll think of mom, I'll think of somebody that we don't have this issue that I'm applying. If I said this to them, would they take it offensively? Like, would I say this to anyone? Is there any biases in regards to who this person is or what offense has been occurred? So I kind of like play it in my head, and then sometimes I run it past other people, but then I'll just be like, okay, if I feel like it's suffice, cool, and I'll address it as such.
How do we teach the young, I'm sorry, Precious, how do we teach young people boundaries? How do we do that without them getting, you know, in a good way? So that, you know what I mean?
You know,
one way, and of course, but I do this daily. I feel like I have high schoolers and all that. I think if I would have learned about boundaries in high school, I think my life would have turned out way different. But it's hard to learn boundaries because, again, boundaries are tailored to you. So it's hard to teach someone boundaries. All you can teach them is like the guideline and like the outline and the layout of your boundaries and how to establish them. However, again, when you're learning your own boundaries, because it's hard, it's not something you can really teach because everyone's forever going through that cycle of learning or that process of learning it. But I would say in school, what I do now is, of course, I try to be an example. So like if they do something that they're not supposed to do, I've had kids lie on me to get out of class. I've had kids lie on me to hold their phone. And one thing about my kids, you lie on me one time, I'm setting that boundary immediately. I don't do liars. So you're not allowed to be in my office until either we have a conversation, it's figured out, or something like it doesn't. And even if it doesn't need to be a conversation, because a conversation may have been had immediately, then I just want you in my office. Like, you're gonna feel this cold shoulder for a little bit because I don't do that. So that's one way that I feel like I by being an example. But then besides that, I have a lot of kids come to me and tell me like, all the Miss, I gotta give you the tea, clock that tea. And I'm like, okay, tell me the drama going on. But even when they do that, I tell them like, if you don't like that, you should tell them. Tell them that you don't like it. It doesn't hurt to tell somebody what you don't like. You shouldn't be offending anybody because of something you don't like. And when you tell them you don't like it, how they respond to it
It's
is
on
up to them.
Yeah.
Do your part of this is what I'm bringing to the table. How you take this information and what you do with this information is on you.
Right.
Then that'll also tell you how to move with that person moving forward accordingly.
Right. Precious, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I know with me and my, you got to have boundaries with siblings too. But I know me and my brother, and his girlfriend, baby mama, we all really close. So when stuff would happen, I used to be telling my mom like, oh, such and such happened, just thinking we having a regular conversation. But then she'd go back and say, yeah, you think I don't know, da 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 da, which would cause a conflict between me and him, and it kept on like we all kept bickering. I'm all like, dang, I told her not to say nothing. Why she say something? But so then he was all like, like pretty much just I don't want her in my business like that. Like it's my mom, but like certain things we like to keep to ourselves. So I had to respect what he said and stop running my mouth to my mom because obviously I kept getting back. But sometimes you do have to check yourself and be like, okay, was it
Good
even
on you,
necessary to,
though. Yeah.
and then like teaching people how to set boundaries with my daughter. She's in kindergarten now, but she's going through this whole with her hair, and the little girls keep touching her hair, and she's all like, well, I don't like her touching my hair. And then them asking her like, pretty much, are you white or black? But she's black, but she just really, really high yellow. So she's going through that stuff, but I'm trying to teach her how to tell them no, because they have to respect your boundaries. So I think that it actually starts there at a younger age, so that she won't grow up feeling like, oh, I can't express myself or tell them how I feel if I don't want them to do that.
Good for her.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think you have to start teaching them at a young age, because then it follows them throughout.
And ain't nothing wrong with us high yellow people. Just saying.
Let me tell you.
You have to teach her that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, in my niece's preschool, they sure do be teaching them boundaries, okay?
Really?
Yeah. Like, if, they teach them, like, if you don't like that, you tell them to walk away. And we, I work with infants, so they can't communicate verbally. But you can tell, when a kid is being aggressive to another kid, and you say whatever, you say no thank you, and you tell them to walk away, and they really like, I'm with these kids every day, so they actually start learning. And for the older ones who actually speak, like they tell them, like, if you don't like that, you tell them, you say no thank you, you tell them to walk away. And let me tell you, Imogen sure does tell me when she don't like something.
What?
And me as an adult, I have to respect her boundaries, because I have to show her that, like, you're telling me that you don't like something. I'm not just gonna override you just because I want to give you a million kisses. And she tells me, no, Titi, I don't like besitos. Like, I don't want besitos right now. Or the other day, she literally, I come to the living room, and I live with her. I come to the living room, she's just watching her little show, and I come and sit next to her, just sit next to her, and then she like gives it a few minutes, and she goes, Titi, I need space. And I was like, space from me? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Change your diapers.
Okay. Like, you have to, because even at that age, she's gonna be 3 in February. Like, even at that age, they know.
They know what they like and what they don't like.
That. Yeah, I wish I was like that as a kid. I so was not like that.
And it's good that you acknowledge it, because some adults feel like, well, you're a child, stay in a child's place. But some things are not like that. Some things are respect these kids how they should be respected. Like, just because we were shut down, shut down and was quieted. Like, oh, I can't say that because I got to stay in a child's place. Right. Something needs to be said.
Yep.
So
yeah. So I have to like show her that I'm hearing her, she's communicating what she doesn't like, and I'm hearing her, and I'm like, all right, fine. Like, even though I want to sit next to you on the couch,
especially if it's not disrespectful neither. If they're not being disrespectful.
But I was gonna say, then Imogen will respect Titi Michelle, because she knows she can tell Titi Michelle stuff and she's gonna get upset. Respecting her boundaries.
When you have she'll know how to respond. And also,
Right.
Her next step will be, so she's getting this down pat. Good for Emma Jess.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Mm-hmm.
her next step will be when someone doesn't respect her
That's
boundaries,
right.
grab the
Right.
toy from, hit her,
Right.
whatever. This is the
Right.
new kid on the block. She's gonna have to learn, how do I manage that at her very young age.
Right.
She's already ahead of the
Right.
game, so I think she'll be just fine.
Right. Right. And like in
Mhm,
school, you know, like they're good at like, you know, facilitating, you know, whatever. But you
mhm.
know, when she gets a little bit older, you know, when
Yeah.
she's in public school,
Oh, goodness.
it's it's so important, but it's really hard. I feel like for most people
Mhm.
to set boundaries and then really enforce them.
You
Yeah.
know, I have to say a boundary that I had to learn is with Naya. I used to call Naya, I thought it was a cutesy name, but she hated it.
Still do. Don't say it. I still do.
No, I'm not. I'm not, because the
You wanna tell me later?
boundaries. I'll tell you later. Call me later, Mish. But I used to say to her as a young girl, as a little girl, and as a teenager, even young adult, and then at one point, I want to say she got mad at me. It's just the way that she said it that I truly understood how much it bothered her. And to me, it's all such a cutesy name. But I realized I had overstepped my boundary. I had been overstepping my boundary, and I ignored her before as a young girl, going, "Don't say that, don't say that," you know.
Because you wanted her to
Until
like it so bad.
exactly. But on top of it's so true.
I don't care. You didn't choose that name when you signed that birth certificate, so therefore it's what you signed, okay?
So, but
That's a
also,
legal document.
so now, you know, I stopped saying it a while ago, but it was just a revelation of, oh my goodness, I've overstepped my boundary with my daughter, and I didn't want to do that anymore, and show her the respect that she deserves. So there's always room to learn. There's always room to learn. I think as you get older, no matter what. Go ahead, Naya. I'm sorry.
I was gonna just adding on to what you're saying. I think that as you mature and as you grow older and as you lose friends and gain friends and modify friendships and relationships, your boundaries will look different. So like that was a boundary when I was younger, but I also remember not too long ago we needed to have a conversation and you were kind of forcing it in that moment. I was like, now is not the time to have this conversation because I remember. So let's have this conversation when we're both in a better space, because right now it's missing you, it's missing me. Let's not do it. Yeah, it was rogue planes going on. So anyway,
we were trying to talk and it didn't work.
so I think that the boundaries and what that looks like in learning and respecting and setting boundaries in all aspects, it just changes over time because you change, you're evolving as a person. So like that changes with you, and you just got to go with the flow, and hopefully you have people who are part of your tribe that they're going with the flow with you and they're respecting the boundaries as you're creating them. But of course, as you said in the beginning, those that don't,
bye-bye.
Right, because I know I had cut my grandma off for a long time because she didn't respect my,
Really?
I did. And then we became close after she started to show me more respect for like the past like 12, 13 years. I've been the main person, like her help for everything. So we actually grew closer when she started to respect my, respect me, period, as a woman, as a young woman at the time, because I was younger then. And even like when me and my mom would get into it, she would tell her like, well, you need to respect what she's saying at the end of the day because she's her own woman. So I think that made us even more closer because it was like, well, dang, you see me now. You see me for me, and I don't have to be someone else or step on eggshells because you respect what I'm saying and you hear where I'm coming from. So I think that, that
Is that the grandma
does help.
Is that the grandma you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, that's the grandma that's in the hospital. So yeah, we did become like really close because she put that out there. If somebody didn't say, somebody was disrespecting me, she'd be like, she'll step up. So it's like, once I created that with her, just our boundaries, show some respect. It just went, it went a long way.
Okay.
Sometimes
I said,
sometimes that needs to happen. Like you have to, because family, you don't want to really set the boundaries. I know for me, I didn't want to really set, but then they'll put you in situations where you're like about to explode. It's like, I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing. And then when you finally speak up, then people are getting offended. But sometimes that when you're away, like I left home, moved to a whole nother part of New York, then moved to a whole nother state, and now it's are a little different. Like I know from my mother, I can't tell her if I know something because she talks. And so when my sister tells me something, I don't say anything. And then she'll say, yeah, and such and such. And I'll be like, really? Well, okay, yeah. I don't know anything. Because then it's, oh, Sheree, you told my business. And oh, Sheree, nah, I don't want to get in any. So I don't hear what you're saying. I don't want to get any of that. And so I stayed away for a long time. And then I'm finally coming around. But when I came back, because I was in New York for a year, when I came back, I ended up having a huge argument with my sister. We were really, really close. Had a huge argument with my sister, and she made the comment, well, I just felt that, it was the way you said it. Because I get told all the time, well, it's the way you say things. And I'm like, well, if I said it once, then, and you ain't listening the first time, then, oh, well, you're going to get it the way I say it the next time. So deal with it.
However it
So,
comes out, you
right.
getting it.
however, exactly. However you're getting it, that's me. So why am I don't want to change. People tell me don't change, but then you don't want me to say things the way I want to say them. So but I realized that I didn't really set real boundaries with my family. I just allowed things to happen. And then when I didn't like something, and it was like, I don't like this, and the way it came out. So but I stayed away, and so now things seem to be a little better now that I've started to come back around.
Right. I was gonna say, Alana, you still there with us, girl?
Yeah, I'm just listening. Sheree came for Gram. I'm like, damn.
Oh, you can join the convo, baby. You can.
But she can also listen if she's listening.
Okay.
She's listening.
I'm like, I have so much, but then I talk too much sometimes. So I'm just listening.
That's the point. It's okay.
Okay,
But
whenever
maybe
you want
do not on
to
camera. That's
chime
a
in.
punishment.
That's a punishment. Okay, so here's a thought. How do I put it? So having a bestie, best girlfriend, single, one gets married, the other one doesn't. Then there's a boundary because now the bestie is not married, doesn't know what it's like to be a wife or a wife's responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So there's a boundary there. What do you guys think? What do you guys think on how do they fix that? Is it fixable? How do they get back to that place? You know what I mean? Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're saying. I don't know. I think it depends on the person, really. Because like I'm not married, but I've been in my relationship for a long time. And I did have friends that would be like, oh, well, you changed. And like I said, me trying to prove that I didn't change, but then realizing like, well, shit, you're right, I did change. But it doesn't matter because you should still support me.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Right.
So if you're not supporting me or in that space or whatever, then and it's not like I'm choosing him over you. You put this up when you didn't want to talk to me or be friends no more because I'm in a relationship now.
And there's certain things in your relationship / marriage that you can't share with the single woman. You know what I'm saying? Because she won't get it. You know,
even besides like sharing stuff, okay, so you're with your significant other, okay, pillow talk. I don't expect you to go back to your friend because then then including them into your marriage, and that's not the
messy.
So that's part one. I think it's very messy. But I think that's also something I've had to deal with in the past where either friends have gotten married. But the one thing I can think of most is I had a really, really close friend and she got pregnant. She had a baby. She was maybe my first friend to have a baby. And
I think I know.
I think you know too. Anyway, so I think when she had the baby, I was very much so ready to be godmommy, auntie, all that, like all of it. But I just felt like she started treating me differently. And I understood responsibilities were going to come with it. Like I understood the whole process. But at the same time, why did that I have to be cut off? Like, because you feel like you won't be able to relate to me anymore. Like I'm with you. But I don't think she understood that. So, I mean, looking back, for us to be as close as we were, and for me to, Lord forgive me, don't even know this child's name today, but I know that the baby's older now, they're a toddler. And I think that me and this person have tried to reconnect since they had the baby, maybe 2 or 3 times, but it's like no follow through. So if you know me, I'm down. You want a link? I haven't seen you forever. Alana, you want that list? We can link.
Heard you. But understand, I come fully loaded. I got 2 kids.
That's fine.
My,
I
my
have
kids. We talking about boundaries. My kids will tell you straight up, no. My kids teach
I
me
have
how to be better.
and I know both their parents. So with that being said, that's fine. That's fine with me. I work with kids, so like I love to be around kids and stuff, and I understand the responsibilities that come with it. That's part of why I haven't had my own children yet. However, I'm here
I see you doing that refill. I want to be over there.
What?
See you, Michelle.
The bottle is empty. It's empty. She cleared it.
She's going to
that
sleep
now?
after this.
She
You
over here
going to
trying
take a
to
nap
keep me
after
poor,
this.
girl. It's at the bottom. It's done.
Hello. I wish I could
Alana,
do
quote that. I love it. I love it.
But all to say, I think things changed with her, and we tried to reconnect, and there was just no follow through. And again, I'm flexible. I don't have nothing holding me down in regards to obligations. A child comes forth for me. I'm not gonna make you choose me over your child.
Right.
However, I'm always open. When you can, let me know. Let's link up. But if I reach out to you to initiate it and then you don't reach back, what I'm supposed to do? Or harass you?
Right.
Can I give you like a different side of it
Yeah.
though? Because so hear me out though. I totally understand where you're coming from, but as a mom, especially when I first became a mom and being as young as I was, it's not that. And again, I can't speak for her, but for me, I lost a lot of friends, and they did reach out to me. It's just that I felt like I was a burden now because at the end of the day, y'all say it's all cute and dandy until that baby takes the most smelliest shit in the middle of the restaurant and is crying, and you're looking at me like I got 10 eyes, and I don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. We don't know what to do, and now I feel really bad about being a mom because I don't know everything. So it's like it is, and I pushed away so many friends that I lost because it took me a while to figure out how to even have a conversation because I just had mom guilt, and I don't have a mom. Like my mom is not a mom. So I didn't have a motherly figure, and I didn't have the support where I could get rest, or I could figure out even how to balance, figuring out being a parent, a partner, a mom. Like, so it's not that I didn't want to go out. It's not like I just felt so embarrassed about where I was that I was supposed to I catch on to things really great. What they don't tell you is children will make you rethink everything you thought. You thought you were smart, have a kid. You thought you was cute, have a kid. You thought you could keep your secrets and they don't peep game, have a kid. They will call you out on your bull. So it's like, and if anybody ever gets to meet my kids, you will understand my kids are the most amazing but vocal. They are smarter than me. They are more equipped than I can ever be, and they give no F's about nobody's feelings. So I feel
Their boundaries are set.
exactly. So like I
Period.
love that, but it's also growing up. I had a kid young, and then dealing with that. It's not that I didn't want to be a friend. It's not like I didn't want to go out. I just was so embarrassed, and I didn't know how to say that because I was more embarrassed to even say like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I'd rather just let everybody think I hate them. And I had friends that reached out, but I didn't even know how to lug with my kid. And that sounds so bad, but at the time, like I was just I would cry because it's like I wanna have a life. And I don't know about y'all, but for me, people kept telling me when they found out I was pregnant, like your life is over. And I really believed it. But then I had a kid and I realized life is way more lit with
Terrible.
kids. And again,
That is
people that do or don't
terrible.
pop
It's
up.
actually the ending to one life and the beginning
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
a
well,
new
it
life.
people
changes.
didn't say the
So
beginning
it's
to the
not
other. They
over.
stopped at your life
Yeah,
ended. So
it's a
I'm
big
over here young,
transition.
having a kid, like it's over. So it's not that I didn't want it. I didn't even know that it was in my head, again, I can't speak for her people, but in my head, I felt it was even wrong if I left my kid at home for a while. Like I felt like I was doing something wrong if I even left my kid for a couple of hours to enjoy myself. It took me years and going through it on my own to realize, like, you know what, it's okay even if I go out at night. It's okay if I leave my daughter at a trusted friend's house. It's okay if I want to be I people make it seem like once you became a mom, that's everything. And that's again another boundary. Some people, they become moms and that's their whole life. That I am very much Lana. I'm also a mom, and I had to tell myself that, like, no, I'm Lana first, mom second, and everything else after. That's fantastic,
Right.
but I'm me first. I want friends. I want to have fun. I'm allowed to. I'm not freaking 80. And even at 80, I'm still gonna be twerking with a cane. But you know what I mean? Like, but I had to learn that it's okay to be me first and then it's going to help me be a mom. But people don't preach that. They make it seem like your life is done and you got to be a mom.
I'm
So you
so
got to cut
glad
up all
that
your
you.
friends and stuff like that.
They only
I'm
took
so
half
glad
the
that you
quote.
know that. I'm
But
sorry.
at the same time, hold on, Mona. They only took half the quote, but at the same time, too, you were also learning your boundaries. Again, you're a mama cub. I mean, a mama bear trying to protect her cubs, and you don't know what those boundaries look like. You're
Mhm.
just getting the hang down of your own boundaries. So then now to create many boundaries for your many people, that is a lot, and I completely understand that. But I trust and believe. I'm the friend. I used to go over to our house and we gonna rock these babies to sleep, and then we gonna get lit. we here.
No, that's
Okay,
fire.
so like we'll rekindle eventually. Go ahead, Mas.
Mhm. No, I'm just glad that Alana has gotten to that place of she's Alana and she is a mom. So now you have your boundaries and you know that it's not the end of life. It, as Precious said, it's the beginning of a new life. It's not that it's worse or better or anything. It's just a new life, a new season or a new stage. And you just grow
your kids
with
gonna
that
grow
kid.
up. They're gonna grow up, they're gonna be adults, and then you left being
Exactly.
mom. Yeah, but you're still you, Alana.
And then you still, that's another phase or another stage. I'm in that stage of kids are out of the house or grown and doing their own thing. Okay, so what do I do? You know, it's like I'm still living and there's so many things I still want to do and I'm gonna do them, you know.
I remember me and my mom used to bump heads a lot because I did have my son. We always bump heads, but I had my son at a young age, and she just did not respect the fact that that was my son. I understand she's trying to be grandma too, but it was like her trying to step on my toes with a lot of things when it came to my child. But the one thing that we got into a big argument. I think we didn't talk for a whole years because I asked her not to do something with my son, and she did it anyways, and told him to keep it a secret.
Ooh.
I went to the roof because I'm like, don't ever tell my child to keep a secret from me. I don't care who you are. But she didn't understand that. She's like, well, I'm his grandma. I don't matter. I'm like, I don't care who you are. I'm not. I don't teach my kids to keep secrets from me, especially.
Right.
And I don't
that's
like my
very
kids.
harmful.
And even though like I'm not with his dad, but I'm with my younger kid's dad, we don't keep secrets from each other neither. Even me, him, his dad. He'd be like, hey, don't keep that secret from your mom. You need to tell your mom. So we'll have a talk about it. Don't keep, that's like number one. Do not tell my child to keep a secret from me behind my back because now you're creating something different.
Yeah.
You're creating something different. So now he thinks he can go do whatever he do, and we've learned how to keep a secret now. No, we don't got no secrets here.
Right.
We have an
I
open
love that.
space with bread table. We could talk.
Yeah, I love that, Precious. That's nice. That's really good.
So,
I would like each person to give words of wisdom regarding boundaries. So, or maybe I should go first, right? While y'all thinking.
Yeah, you should go first. You should go
Nobody's talking to you. Michelle, drink your wine, Michelle. No. I ain't got to tell her twice. Okay. Regarding boundaries, I would say don't be afraid to speak your truth. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. I can go to a whole bunch of things. I was afraid to speak my truth, younger, teenage, grown adult, married adult, mother, all of those things. And I was afraid in certain aspects to speak my truth, to set my boundary. So my words of wisdom to anybody out there today, don't be afraid to speak your truth. If the person does not receive or respect your truth, then they're not that friend. They're not that right mate. They're not that right friend. And you keep them moving. And I'm going to pass it on to Alana.
It's ghetto. I knew it. I said she gonna pick me because I got no eyebrows today. It's just me.
That's what you get for not having no eyebrows today.
The best thing I can say, and honestly, I learned it from my 9-year-old. She's the one that she teaches me a lot of stuff. I tell her all the time, but she told me, she goes, Mom, if it doesn't feel good in your belly, then it's not jelly. That's what she tells me.
I
So
like that.
so I just walk around like
I
if
like
it and
that.
because I try to teach her about like her, I say inner core, but it's kind of like your instinct. I said, girl, we got a superpower. We know things before we know things. So she's like, Mom, if it's not good in your belly, it's not jelly. So when things are just not right, just don't do it. Period.
Yep. Nice. Nice.
That's cute.
So cute. I love that.
Pass it on, Alana.
Want to stick with the jelly?
Pass it to somebody, Alana.
Michelle.
I mean, I feel like like back to what I said earlier, like boundaries are for you, like they're to benefit you. And I'm saying that, but I need to like hear what I'm actually saying because
Preach, preacher.
What?
Preacher. You're preaching to yourself.
I'm trying. But yeah, they're for you. And like, you know, they're for your own quality of life, like we were saying earlier. So I'm gonna pass it to Naya.
What's sticking with me on this in this topic of boundaries is what you're not changing, you're choosing. Like it's not jelly in the belly. It's not jelly in the belly, then that means that you gotta have to change some things.
Some jelly.
Create some boundaries so you can start jellying, you know?
Yeah.
What you're not changing, you are absolutely choosing.
Nice one. Pass on now.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that part. Auntie Sheree.
I would say set them early. Don't wait until something's happened and you don't like how it's making you feel. Set them early. Set them early. And then I'm gonna pass it. It's Precious, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it to Precious.
I would say don't silence your voice for anybody. And it's okay. It's okay to set boundaries. Don't quiet your voice for nobody.
I like that. I like them all. Well, thank you. This was a good one. Boundaries, ladies. Remember your boundaries with food, and drinks. No. Remember the boundaries with food and drink during the holidays. It's so great that all of you are on. Miss Alana, we will catch you next time.
These are my boundaries here.
I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna put my eyebrows on.
You better have them eyebrows on next time.
I'm gonna.
My eyebrows on next time.
I'm looking at my profile. She looks so ready to go. That's not me right now.
Yes, it is. That's all I see. That's all I see. That's it. All right, ladies. Have a beautiful rest of your Saturday, your weekend as the holidays come around. If I do not get a chance to talk to you, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry
Hearts. Let's get the hearts.
Oh wait, let me get my heart. Hold on a second. All right, I gotta hold
Do
this
the
up.
Gen Z version.
Is that a raised hand for the heart?
Oh,
Y'all can't see me.
How do you do the hearts floating up? How do you do that?
Oh, it's because she's on Apple products.
But I'm on Apple products. So how do you do it? How do you get it?
You just did it.
Oh, I got it.
And it comes out.
Sheree, it should be an emoji somewhere. A happy face. If you click on that happy face, then it comes up.
Or if
you put the heart in your camera.
The way that Michelle and Precious just did it. You can do it on your phone, but you need both your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did the heart. No, I'm talking about
I didn't know it could do
floating
that.
hearts.
Why
are you throwing up gang signs now?
How do you do it? You just did it. How do you do the gang sign one?
Because you do a heart. You
no,
no, not that heart. I'm talking about the red hearts. They had the red hearts that were just floating up. So that's an emoji.
That's from Michelle and Precious doing it on.
You have to make a heart.
Oh, they're
You
just
need to make
showing
a
off.
heart.
They're just showing off.
This is the new. This is the new.
She's like, I want
Maya's
to
over here throwing up gang signs.
No, Michelle, you did it. You did something. My kids do it, and I never could get my fingers together.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I'm not crazy. What do you
this
think?
is the Gen
Oh.
Z version. That's what the
Yeah.
young kids are
Okay.
doing.
Nope, didn't do it.
The young kids are doing that one.
I'm just gonna do this one.
I like this one better. This one.
All right, ladies, we out. Mwah. Take it
Bye.
easy. Bye.
See y'all later.
Bye.
See y'all later. Thanks for being on.